Gonna build a mountain from a little hill.
Evening folks, this is Best in Slot with some Planet Zoo update news because we finally have a look at the 3 brand new animals coming to the deluxe edition of the game. That is the Thomson's Gazelle, we're going to look at first, the Pygmy Hippopotamus, and of course the Komodo Dragon. These 3 are exclusive to the deluxe edition. I know most of you are going to be ordering it for access to the beta, but hey, having 3 unique creatures is a pretty cool advantage as well. I do believe if you don't buy this pre-order wise, you will be able to upgrade to the deluxe edition later on. That's how Jurassic World Evolution worked, but there is no guarantee of that. I don't think we've had confirmation for that quite yet. Anyways, let's move on and take a look at the first screenshot. We're going to be looking first at the Thomsons because it is, if we're honest, the least exciting of the bunch. Not that it doesn't look beautiful. This screenshot is the best screenshot of the 3. It's beautiful. It really is. The light coming from behind the tree, this lovely savanna environment, loads of different foliage. The fog kind of dusty effect is really, really nice. I think this may have been bullshotted a little bit. The way the light sort of catches behind this kind of backlight effect on all the Thomsons looks really, 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 really good. And if we bring up a comparison image here, you can see it's pretty much spot on. I've had a look at all these, and I will say the deluxe edition creatures, except one maybe, are really top tier in terms of their design and how much they match with their real life counterparts. The Thomson is a good example. It really is. I don't have any complaints. It's perfect. It looks like a Thomson's Gazelle. My problem with the Thomsons comes more from, should it be a deluxe edition creature? We kind of had this with the Archaeopteryx back in Jurassic World Evolution. He had some interesting dinosaurs like, say, the Suchomimus, which was big and unique, the equivalent of the Komodo dragon for this game. And then you had the Archaeopteryx, which was basically a Gallimimus with slightly different skin colouring and stuff like that. I feel the same way about the Thomsons. If we bring up this image of the in-game Springbok, now they're not exactly the same. The Springbok has larger ears and smaller horns in comparison to the Thomsons. And of course there's some slight different colorations and shape differences on the face. For example, you know, the Springbok has the white beneath the eyes, beneath that kind of like string of black. And the Thomsons, which has the exact same string of black, has some brown under the eyes instead. But they've both got this swoop of dark colour in the midriff, they're both brown on top and white underneath. They are, for all intents and purposes, very, very similar animals. Now that's not necessarily the end of the world. There are people out there who would want both in the game. And we've already seen with the Himalayan brown bear that, you know, we are going to get some animals that look fairly similar. The Himalayan brown bear and the current grizzly bear look very, very similar. There are some differences again, but they do look very, very similar. At the end of the day, if you're going to have a zoo game with a huge roster, which is what we've got here with at least over 50 animals, then you should expect some duplications, some animals that look very similar to each other because it's a lot quicker to do that. It's not realistic to expect 50 entirely unique and different animals. It's just not realistic. And I'd rather have 50 animals and have 20 of them be, or 10 of them be, somewhat copied than 40 animals, right? Of course you would. So that's not really the issue. The issue is that it's a deluxe edition animal. It does seem a weird inclusion. It doesn't really fit in with the other 2 as far as I'm concerned. But hey, it still looks good. At the very least, oopsie daisy, bit of a mess here. It does still look really good. There's even got that little light patch, you can just see it there. This patch here being brought up. Honestly, it's like a perfect match. It's really impressive. Moving on, we're going to look at the Pygmy Hippopotamus. This terrifying creature. I did have a lot of comments. People were worried a little bit about the Pygmy Hippo, kind of in the same way as they were for the Thomsons, and that it would be a copy. But the Pygmy Hippo has a fundamentally different body shape than an adult hippopotamus. So, okay, there are some similarities, of course. The colour, the sort of fat folds, basically the big teeth at the front, which look awesome. I love the little guy. Oh, he's so cute. One thing I really do like about the Pygmy that isn't there on the big hippo right now, I suspect it's being added given that it's present on the Pygmy, is if we look at the nasal area, this kind of like a little bit over here, you can see the Pygmy hippo actually has the whiskers that the adult hippopotamus should have but is currently lacking. They're even there on the ear. And if we bring up my comparison image of this Pygmy hippo, you can see that they're there on that side as well. As you can see, it's got hairy ears, and you can see it's got these kind of whiskers here, and also the whiskers there, and they match up pretty much perfectly. Now, does the rest of the animal match up perfectly? I would say it's pretty close, generally speaking. I think the head might be a little bit large, but it's hard to tell just because of how wide open this guy's mouth is. We need to see him with mouth shut, and that'll give us a better idea of just how large the head is in comparison. People have considered pygmy hippos tend to be quite dark, and they do, but you can see in this one on the left, it does have this pink texture. Apparently that's when the hippo sweats, it gains this sort of pink colouring, and we're seeing that on both sides as well. They are typically quite a dark animal, but yeah, whatever. If we bring up the actual hippo in-game, you can see there are substantial differences between the two. There is something throwing me about this model on the right. I don't know what it is, if I'm totally honest. Maybe it is simply because it looks... It kind of looks like a hippo, but it kind of doesn't look like a hippo. And a pygmy hippo is not something we're very accustomed to in video games, or indeed media of any form. Pygmy hippo is obviously not like a top-tier, well-known animal. Yeah, there's something just slightly throwing me. That I think it's this area here. There's something about it just seems a little low quality to me. I don't know if I'm going utterly crazy or if other people see it as well. But it is totally adorable, absolutely totally adorable. Little chubby feet, little chubby body, little chubby face. You know what I'm like with my Sinoceratops and stuff. There is no way I wasn't going to love the pygmy hippopotamus as well. That said, as much as I love it in its adult form, and this is its adult form here where it's absolutely tiny, the best thing about pygmy hippos is the babies. I mean, look at that. That's the cutest thing in the world. I'm really hoping the pygmy hippos in this game, we've already seen plenty of babies in this game, and typically they have been really cute. Just the other week I showed you the snow leopards, the ostriches, and well, those are the two that came to mind. The snow leopards, the ostriches, and the tapirs over the last few weeks, and all three were heartbreakingly adorable, and none of them are as cute in real life as the baby pygmy hippo, which is unbearably cute. It really is. I mean, just look at it. I mean, I know you are looking at it, you're looking at the screen, but look at it. I'm very excited about the pygmy hippo, okay? It was like my second main animal off the Deluxe edition, out of 3 admittedly, but still, I think we won't really get a sense for how the pygmy hippo looks until we see it in relation to other animals as well. At the moment it looks like a large, malformed hippopotamus basically. We don't really have a sense of scale. I think putting it next to other animals is really going to drive home how unique it's going to look in our games, but we can't do that quite yet for fairly obvious reasons. Finally then, the animal most of us were most excited for, one of my personal all-time favourite animals, even if I did get the colour wrong in a recent video. This is the Komodo dragon, and it is our third, I should say. Some people were worried the Komodo dragon was going to be restrained to terrariums. That was never going to happen given the size and stuff, but it's nice to see it here in this lovely sandy open environment, really perfect environment for the Komodo, and it looks perfect. It really does. I'm going to bring up a larger image here instead. It's just, I don't know what else to say about this. How do I analyse this other than saying, yep, it's a Komodo dragon. There is nothing wrong with it as far as I can tell. I am going to bring up a small comparison image, and we can point out where exactly they've got the detailing right. The head shape is perfect. It kind of, drops into this middle bit, and then slims up for the snout. The eyes, you can see here, have that kind of yellowy, lighter texture around them. The body colour is the brown, whereas the head is kind of like a grey. We can't see it on this image, but you can see, but behind that there will be this kind of folded section, and you can see that again over here with the legs. Around the legs, the body of the Komodo kind of folds in a little bit around it awkwardly like that. The way the legs are splayed out, the feet are kind of pointing in a different direction, kind of out more to the sides, whereas the arms are forward. It's just, well, the front legs I should say. It's perfect. I want to see the tongue. The tongue will be important. I'm hoping it has a big old tongue. I realise I've just ruined this beautiful image that you all want to look at. I am super excited to get hold of this guy in our games, to see it take down another animal, hopefully. It is a shame as far as I'm concerned that animals can't kill guests. I know the Frontier hear people saying that, they're like, why do you want that? Why do you want your animals to murder people? But, that's part of what we always do in zoo games and park builders. Personally, and it's like The Sims, right? People play The Sims and they love building houses and communities, and then they put their Sims in a swimming pool and they get rid of the ladders because that's what people do. That is how we are wired. It's how I'm wired anyway. And I know a lot of you at home are. It's a shame, but we should see it take down some other animals, some zebras and stuff like that. It just, yeah. What do I say to this? Does anyone have any negative things to say about the majestic beauty that is the Komodo dragon? Every single aspect, the double layers of wrinkling down by the side, this kind of spinal ridge just propping up over the middle. There's tons of tiny... Honestly, this, out of most animals in the game, and it may be the screenshot, it may be bullshotted as slightly or whatever. I will say this is, as the world outside makes incredible amounts of noise, for me this is potentially the most realistic looking animal in the entire game so far. I don't know how other people feel about that, but for me, I think you could look at that Komodo dragon there, and in better lighting, because you can tell it's a video game just with the lighting and the rocks and the textures and stuff like that, I think if you took that out and put it somewhere else, it would be on the verge of photorealism. On the verge. It's not quite there. Obviously, there's some bits here like this bit here and stuff like that, which kind of give it away, but it's on the verge. The head in particular is absolutely beautiful. It's perfect! I don't know what else to say. Let me know which of these three is your favourite, or actually give me a ranking down below. You've already seen my ranking. It goes Thomson's, it goes Pygmy Hippo, and it finishes on the Komodo. I did think that Pygmy Hippo would be top, but something about it is still throwing me just a little bit. I need to see the baby, but it is really cool. I love that they've added the whiskers. I really hope we add that to the adult hippopotamus, the big hippopotamus as well. But the Komodo dragon is so good that it's become my favourite animal in the entire game super quickly, which is awesome because it's one of my favourite animals in the world already. Okay, thumbs up, smiley face. That is Planet Zoo. 3 Deluxe Edition animals revealed. Our animal count now is like 35, 36, 40. It's around there. It's getting very, very high. We have a few weeks to go to the beta. Still just under 2 months now until the actual release of the game. So that's a while away. So we will definitely see yet more animals come to fruition. We've seen 4, including the aardvark, over the past week. You know, okay, we knew these were in the game, but getting to see them actually come to life is really, really cool. Keep an eye out for all that news. I will update you guys as soon as anything happens. Subscribe for that. I will see you lovely folks next time. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.